Thank you, Sky. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. Good morning, graduates and guests. I am Letzy Vargas, a primera generación mexicana americana. A first-generation Mexican American. I am here today to tell you a story about hope, resilience, and the power of community. My identity is very important to me and has played a central role in my educational journey. So in 2019, on a stage similar to this one, graduating high school was the most important and monumental accomplishment I had ever achieved. On that day, I was the first in my family to achieve that milestone. I made history in my family. I didn't make it to that moment or this one alone. My mom sacrificed so that I could have the privilege of attending school in the US. She taught me to value education and the opportunities it offers. She motivated me to be a better student, to dream big, and to push boundaries, all while raising my brother and me as a single parent. My father was incarcerated for much of my life, but my mom worked hard to provide a good life for us. Being first gen and the firstborn, I learned to work hard and to be resilient. My family always told me, échale ganas para que seas alguien en la vida. Give it your all so you can be somebody in life. And so I did. I took honors courses, I worked part-time, I participated in extracurriculars, all while carrying additional responsibilities at home. My mom left for work very early, so most days she was gone before I even woke up. I got my brother ready, then drove 30 minutes to school every morning, returning home exhausted in the late afternoon. I stayed up late to work on assignments. The kitchen table was my desk, where I often fell asleep over my laptop and drooling all over my papers, only to wake up and do it all over again the next day. UC San Diego was my dream school before I fully understood what college was or how to even get there. So the day I received my admission offer was incredibly emotional for me. I'll never forget calling my mom at work, crying to tell her the news, and she was ecstatic. I learned quickly that the transition from high school to a top-ranked university can be hard. Generous financial aid and support from UC San Diego made my dream a reality by covering most of my expenses, but I did have to get a few small loans to make up the difference. I immediately got a job on campus, and my mom and I both worked to pay off the loans as I went through school. I come from a tight-knit, predominantly Latinx community, but initially struggled to find the same sense of community and support. I felt undeserving of this privilege, isolated, inadequate. I struggled with imposter syndrome. My mental health suffered. I was even put on academic probation. My mom called often to see how I was doing. ¿Cómo te va? How's it going? She asked with such pride that I didn't have the heart to tell her how much I was struggling. I felt ashamed and guilty that I was here, while my family was back home working long hours, supporting me and cheering me on. I'm sure some of you, especially first gens, can relate to that feeling of guilt. I questioned my purpose and contemplated dropping out of college before reminding myself that I owed it to myself and my family to see this through. I deserved to be here, and I would not waste this opportunity. I turned my fear and my perceived disadvantages into my motivation. I surrounded myself with people who wanted me to succeed. I found my community. My dance teams, Ascension and Grown Ups, built up my confidence and reminded me that I am much more capable and worthy than I believe. I assessed resources through student success coaching for first-gen students, where I felt understood by other first-gens. I sought help from UCSD's Eating Disorder Program team, who taught me that I have so much more to offer to the world than my appearance, that my perception of the way I look does not define my worth. My CAPS therapist and nutritionist, Sarah Bromley and Taylor Llewellyn, told me to never make myself small or be afraid to take up space. My community showed up for me. Friends sat with me while I was hospitalized and sedated for panic attacks. took me home to my family when I was severely depressed and suicidal, drove me to school when my PTSD made driving impossible. They slept next to me, brought me food when I grieved the loss of a friend. They supported me when life was inconceivably hard, celebrated me when life was better than I could have imagined, and never failed to remind me how strong I was and am. Recently, I took an immunology course from Professor Elena Zuniga. I felt validated seeing someone so accomplished with a similar background to my own. I shared my struggles adapting as a first-generation student. She said something that I will always remember. While these are all important aspects of your identity, these things do not define your limitations. Let those things motivate you, not limit your capabilities. Use them as ammunition. This is the lesson I will take back to my community and use to guide my life's work. We all have our own unique stories, shaped by our families, experiences, and communities. Our stories remind us that we are resilient, powerful, and persistent. They remind us that sometimes we fail in order to succeed, that progress is never linear, and detours are just a different way to get to where we want to go. What matters is the effort you make to get back up and to keep pushing. No matter your lack or abundance of resources, how many times you fell, or how difficult it was, you persisted. If you take away only one thing today, I hope you will remember that it isn't other people's job to make space for you. You must create that space for yourself. Never make yourself small. Keep showing up for yourself and others. And prove what you are capable of because you deserve to take up space. May you all achieve everything you set out to do. Y échale ganas, give it your all. Congratulations, class of 2023, we made it.